The UK Ministry of Defence stated intelligence update that the large-scale explosions at Russia's 51st GRAU munitions depot near Kirzhach, Vladimir Oblast, were most likely caused by internal failures rather than external attack. The depot, located approximately 80 kilometers east of Moscow, was destroyed by multiple explosive detonations on the 22nd of April. According to the Ukrainian Center for Countering Disinformation, it held around 105,000 tons of munitions, including ballistic missiles, air-launched and air defense weapons, artillery shells, and small arms ammunition for frontline deployment in Ukraine. British officials noted that satellite imagery showed more than 1 square kilometer of the site was affected by the blast. The UK intelligence assessment interpreted the destruction as a substantial setback for Russia's ability to supply its forces in Ukraine. Furthermore, fire-damaged, unstable, unexploded munitions may have landed outside of the facility, potentially posing danger to civilians in the vicinity. The report reads, Russia's Ministry of Defense claimed the explosions began with a fire that triggered detonation of stored munitions. The UK Defence Intelligence Update assessed that this explanation was consistent with chronic deficiencies in Russia's handling of weapons and storage procedures. It is highly likely that poor weapons handling procedures alongside negligent storage of munitions resulted in this loss, the British report stated. The British Defence Ministry further characterised the incident as part of a long-standing trend of regularly evidenced Russian ineptitude in managing its military equipment. UK officials concluded that the destruction of the 51st GRAU arsenal was probably the largest munitions loss Russia has suffered due to its own internal actions during the current conflict. It is known that the 51st GRAU arsenal had 45 storage facilities and 30 ammunition storage sites. The design capacity is up to 264,000 tons of various ammunition. It is unknown how many were present at the time of the attack. Like any other GRAU arsenal, it is not narrowly specialized and is designed to store a full range of munitions from artillery shells and ATGMs to anti-aircraft and ballistic missiles and tactical missile systems. At the same time, the arsenal is designed not only for storage but also for the maintenance of munitions.
Turkish Foreign Ministry officials said the three-way meeting between Turkey, the US, and Ukraine had begun. According to Associated Press overseen by Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, the US side included Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy for Ukraine Keith Kellogg and Ambassador to Turkey Thomas Barak. Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha, Defense Minister Rustem Umerov and head of the Ukrainian Presidential Office Andriy Yermak represented Ukraine. The latest push to end the fighting got off to a rocky start on Thursday, when Russian President Vladimir Putin spurned an offer by Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky to meet face-to-face. Delegations from the two countries also flew to different Turkish cities and put together teams of significantly different diplomatic heft for possible talks. Although expectations for a possible Putin-Zelensky meeting were low, the apparent lack of traction in peace efforts frustrated hopes of bold steps being taken in Turkey toward reaching a settlement. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky landed in Turkey on Thursday, after he challenged Russian President Vladimir Putin over the weekend to meet him personally. According to Associated Press, Zelensky said that he still hopes for a ceasefire with Russia starting Monday, and that he will be waiting for Putin in Turkey personally after US President Donald Trump insisted Ukraine accept Russia's latest offer to hold direct talks in Turkey on Thursday. Ukraine, along with European allies, had demanded Russia accept an unconditional 30-day ceasefire starting Monday before holding talks, but Moscow effectively rejected the proposal and called for direct negotiations instead. It was not clear if Zelensky was conditioning his presence in Turkey on the Monday ceasefire holding, and there was no immediate comment from the Kremlin on whether Putin would go. In 2022, the war's early months, Zelensky repeatedly called for a personal meeting with the Russian president but was rebuffed, and eventually enacted a decree declaring that holding negotiations with Putin had become impossible. We await a full and lasting ceasefire, starting from tomorrow, to provide the necessary basis for diplomacy. There is no point in prolonging the killings. And I will be waiting for Putin in Turkey on Thursday. Personally, I hope that this time the Russians will not look for excuses, Zelensky wrote on X on Sunday.
Там есть? Я сейчас